So, we've been talking a lot about credit bureaus and credit reports and credit scores so far in this unit, but I know that's not why you're here. You want to know about the credit cards, right? Those magical little pieces of plastic that give you infinite free money that you can use to go on wild shopping sprees, am I right? Except, don't do that. Yeah, that free money is far from free. In fact, using a credit card is actually more expensive than most other forms of payment because you're only borrowing the money, and you will have to pay it back, plus interest. In this video, we're going to go over how credit cards and loans are used to borrow money, the 5 main factors to consider when you're applying for a credit card or loan, and some tips on how you can minimize debt from borrowing money. Let's get into it. Money is usually borrowed in one of 2 ways, with credit cards or through loans. A credit card is actually an ongoing line of credit. You can use it to make repeated purchases, and it's as easy as swiping it through a card reader, or putting the chip in, or tapping it, or whatever else they come up with. It's easy to feel like this money is infinite, but it's actually not. All credit cards have a credit limit to them. And once you hit that limit, you can't use the credit card anymore until you pay some of that money back. In addition, most credit cards will even offer you benefits for using them. Some of the most common rewards for using a credit card will be points that can be redeemed for free airline tickets, discounts at certain stores, or even cash back on some purchases. On the other hand, loans are a larger one-time amount of money you're borrowing. Most major assets like homes and cars are purchased using loans because they're more expensive than the average person can buy in one go. There are other types of loans too, like business loans, which can be used to start a new business, or personal loans, which can be used for all sorts of personal needs. If you want to receive a credit card or a loan, you are going to have to apply for them. Whenever you're applying, the lender will evaluate your credit worthiness, which is whether or not you're worthy to receive credit, based on how reliable you are to actually pay the money back. There are 5 main factors used in determining credit worthiness, and these are known as the 5 C's of credit: character, capacity, capital, collateral, and conditions. The first C is character, not like your personality, your financial character. This is where your credit score comes in. Character is a measure of how good you are with borrowed money as proven by your financial history. The more reliable your financial character is, the more likely you are to receive that loan. The second C is your capacity to accept more debt. By taking a look at all the debt you already owe alongside how much income you make, the lender gets a much better picture of whether you actually make enough to pay off all your old debt plus this new debt. The third C is capital, which is just a fancy word for money. If you want to prove that you're serious about paying off a big loan, you can do that by paying a large amount of it up front. That's known as a down payment. The larger the down payment you're able to make, the more likely you'll be approved for the full loan. The fourth C is collateral. Collateral is any asset, like jewelry or your car, that you agree to give up if you can't pay the loan back. Then the lender will repossess the collateral and sell it to make their money back. Yeah, it sounds pretty bad. But as long as you reliably make your payments, then you will never have to actually worry about your collateral getting repossessed. For those without many assets, collateral can typically be replaced by a cosigner. This is someone who agrees to pay off the rest of the loan if you can't do it yourself. It's kind of like using the cosigner's money as collateral. When you sign on for your first loan, you will probably need a cosigner because you haven't proven that you can handle loans all on your own yet. The final C is conditions. This one you don't really have much control over. It's where they look at the conditions of the economy as a whole. If the economy seems to be in good shape, then you're more likely to get a good deal on your loan. But if the economy seems like it's in trouble, then lenders will be more hesitant to loan people money. All you can really do is try your best to pay attention and take advantage of when the economic conditions are favorable for good loans. Once you have been deemed credit worthy, then your application will be approved. If it was a loan you applied for, what happens next depends on the kind of loan. For small personal loans and business loans, you'll receive the money directly so that you can spend it on whatever you need it for. For larger loans, though, the money will skip you completely and just go to the end recipient. You won't actually receive the money from a home loan. Instead, the money is sent directly to the seller, and then you receive the keys to your new place. We're going to learn more about how to use loans to make major purchases in the next unit. In the case of credit cards, once you're approved, you will soon receive that shiny new card in the mail, and then you can immediately start using it on your shopping sprees. But applying for credit, receiving the credit, using the credit is not the end of this story. Anything you borrow, you have to pay back. The consequences for late payments can range from a small extra fee on your credit card bill to a complete forfeiture of your collateral. In some extreme cases, real people have been so encumbered by debt that they have had to sell off everything they own and go into bankruptcy. But those people probably didn't have a financial teacher like me to give them advice. If you are careful with your credit, you will hopefully never end up with the amount of debt that drives people to bankruptcy. For loans, you'll have regular payments, typically each month, for a set amount of time. But if all you pay each month is the minimum amount, it'll seem like your debt isn't shrinking at all. That's because each month you pay off some of the debt and then interest accrues. And then next month you pay the minimum amount again, and then interest accrues. But if you pay more than the minimum amount each month, your debt will shrink quicker, meaning less interest will accrue. Even better, you'll pay it off quicker this way, and once it's all paid off, then there will be no more interest at all. Whereas loans are a one-time borrowing of money, credit cards can be used repeatedly, and that can make them even more dangerous. If you pay back only the minimum on your credit card balance each month, that remaining amount accrues interest. And if you use your credit card to purchase something else, that just adds more to your balance. Because of this, it's very common for credit card debt to grow every month rather than shrink. But because we know why the debt is growing, we also know how to stop it. Namely, interest is relative to the amount you have in your balance. No balance means no interest. If at all possible, try to pay off the entire balance of your credit card every month. A lot of people, including myself actually, will just treat their credit card like another debit card and buy something with it and immediately pay it off. This way, they never have to worry about the negative effects of accruing interest. Other people will only use their credit cards in emergency situations, so their balance only changes when there's no other choice. So, to recap, there are two main ways people borrow money: through a line of credit known as a credit card, or with a large one-time amount known as a loan. In order to even apply for a loan or credit card, you must first be deemed credit worthy as determined by the 5 C's of credit. As long as your credit report shows you have good financial character, you have the capacity to accept more debt, you provide capital to show that you're serious about paying back the loan, you're able to provide collateral just in case you can't, and the current economic conditions are favorable in terms of you getting the loan, then you're allowed to borrow the money. Now it's up to you to keep a close eye on it and try to pay that debt down as quickly as possible. One of the best things you can do is pay more than the minimum monthly amount for your loans. Or in the case of credit cards, pay off your entire balance as soon as possible, or only use the credit cards in emergency situations where there's no other option. Finally, and most importantly, do not treat credit like free money, or else you'll find out just how expensive it can be the hard way. As a matter of fact, we're going to find out how expensive it is the easy way in our very next lesson. See, with all the interest and fees that are attached to credits, it can really be hard to wrap your head around how costly it could be. So I'm going to show you just how quickly debt can rack up if you're not careful with your credit. See you next time.